A wonderful opportunity to really kind of evaluate and get all the players the minutes so you can see what you need moving forward. And so I think wonderful opportunity for the front office, and keep in mind their coaching staff, they're elite. They can do a lot with a little. And it's going to be interesting to see as this season goes on, how this plays out.
Yeah, because, I mean, when the Pacers are on, they are one of the most fun teams to watch in the league. So we'll see what they're able to get to tonight. All right, time now for the Drive to Tip-Off presented by CarMax. Andrew Nimhard running point for the Pacers with no Hallie, putting up more than 17 points and 6 assists per game. Both of those career-high numbers. And the reigning Defensive Player of the Year is having his best season as a scorer. Evan Mobley averaging nearly 19 per game. That's second best on the Cavs as he gets some shots up there. And coming up, Amen Thompson discusses his new role, new superstar teammate, and Houston's fast start.
We just improved so much this year. We have a whole lot of year left to continue that. You know, we don't want to be happy right now with 13 games in, but I'm proud of the guys.
Welcome back to NBA Pregame on Prime as we count down to tip-off on this Cup Friday night. And Amen Thompson writes every single day. It's a practice rooted in this dream board he and his brother created at 9 years old. Now he tells me he's added a new message to it. Be you, even when it's uncomfortable. Lead, even when it's uncomfortable. And as his responsibilities shift this season, that reminder feels perfectly timed. And luckily for Houston, Amen has always had a different standard of excellence. Time now for Prime Spotlight presented by State Farm. Can you tell us all your full names?
I'm Amen Excellency Mosiah Thompson.
We in a whole different league. We on a whole different level.
I feel like with a name like that, you really have no other choice other than to be excellent.
Yeah. Growing up, I kind of felt that way. My dad, he thought the names you give your kids were supposed to be powerful. Mm-hmm. And I always took a lot of pride in my name.
So we've got one of the tallest lineups in NBA history. Does it just feel physically dominating when you're out there against other teams?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, I'm big, but like I felt really tiny. So I can only imagine what the other team feels like.
What do you want that size to make them feel like?
Oh, intimidated for sure.
Hey, nothing can stop us. Nothing can phase us.
We, of course, know the level of greatness that KD has reached, but it's very clear that he also wants to empower all of you. Yeah. Do you feel that from him?
It's definitely been new trying to figure out, you know, you see KD, you know he can score on anybody. You just want to give him the ball. Let him go get a bucket. But he's like very empowering on, you know, when he's being denied, he's telling me just go. Go. They can't guard you.
So when Fred unfortunately went down and you knew that your role would expand, what is the conversation that you had with yourself about what would be required?
My coaches, you know, Ben Sullivan, he was telling me, you're not going to be Fred. You got to be your own guy. Like trying to figure out what my own guy is at that position. So
I love that. Where do you feel like you are in that journey of figuring out who you are?
This year has been put in a lot of positions where, you know, I've been uncomfortable and I write a lot of my goals. And one of the things I wrote down was try to be you even when it's uncomfortable, lead even when it's uncomfortable. And I feel like I'm getting better at that.
I asked Fred just how proud he is of your development. I'm going to let you read the text.
I'm just proud of his development and the pro he has become. He's the best type of young guy you can have. Hungry, humble, not afraid of anything. Just a special kid. I'm not reading that last part.
The last part
you can
is,
read that last part.
He just can't guard me, though.
You know what? I might have to pull up some film of me ripping Fred a couple times, just so we can't have that out there.
Just so we're clear.
Just so we're clear.
All right, so we can litigate whether or not men can guard Fred VanVleet, but Swin, I would love to know just how you've seen him progress as a playmaker.
Listen, what a luxury it is to have a front office and a coach in Ime that allows you to play through mistakes. That's one of the things that you can do for a younger player that not only gives them confidence, but has them ready when everything's on the line come playoff time. So here in this clip, you see him coming off. He's trying to map. You know what? He doesn't see Donovan on the weak side because he's still learning how to go through his progressions. But guess what? he's not just going to rest. He's going to get back in transition, get this rebound, competing on the glass. And that is why a lot of times you allow young guys to play through. Too many coaches we've seen, and we've probably had them at some point in our career, that they're either yelling on the sidelines, they're ready to yank you. But when you allow them to play through, that is when you really reap the benefit come May, April, and so forth.
Mm-hmm. And when I asked him, what is the reason? Why do you all have the number one offense in the NBA? He looked at me and said, we have Kevin Durant and Shane Goon.
Yeah, they're not bad players. Shane Goon is having an incredible year. He's averaging career high across the board, 23 points, 10 rebounds. But his playmaking is what really separates it. And it really helps make that no-guard lineup work because he can pass with the best of them. He can score on the block. They even isolated him on the top with a 1-4 flat. I mean, he makes a lot of stuff work. And, he's having an incredible year.
And Kevin Durant, you talk about a guy that's 50, 40, 90 almost for his career. And I'm going to say that again. 50, 40, 90 on nearly 50% shooting from the field. And so with that being said, you have Kevin Durant who has been there. He's done that. You have a young core. You have a coach that is willing to pour into his guys. You have Şengün and KD in a two-man game. There's not much you can do. And then when they miss, which they're not going to do very often, you have Steven Adams ready to clean it up and give them another shot. The Rockets are looking great early, and I just love what this squad is doing on the offense.
I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I have a question because we're talking about a team that's number one right now. Number one. They were 12th last year. They have no point guard. This is the conversation in the group chat. I'm going to put it on blast. Is it sustainable? Is it sustainable?
The one thing I'll say, why I think it's sustainable? Because they are playing so methodical and slower than anyone else. Look at their pace of play. They are getting to their spots on the floor and utilizing those guys. So we'll see. But in a 7-game series,
Şengün is the point guard.
I believe. I know where y'all stand.
He's the point guard.
Our numbers don't.
They do need to get a point guard. They do.
Yeah. Thinking about what it would have looked like with Fred on the court, they look unstoppable now. Maybe it's even a different story. But the Rockets facing the Nuggets later on tonight in Game 2 of our doubleheader, part of a 9-game slate on this NBA Cup Friday, a night where the Raptors can clinch a spot in the knockout stage, just like we all saw coming. The Nets and Jazz would be eliminated with a loss, and the loser of Mavs-Pelicans matchup is out. All right, tonight, watch all of the Emirates NBA Cup action with free NBA League Pass access exclusive to Prime. First stop on this Cup Friday is Cleveland. Darius Garland is back for the Cavs, Dirk. I know you're hyped, trying to run their record to 2-0 in this NBA Cup. Cavs and Pacers are just ahead on Prime. Evan Mobley is reigning Defensive Player of the Year, so we all know the damage that he can do at that end. But UD, what are you seeing from him offensively?
The aggressive version of Evan Mobley. I love the fact that he's shooting more threes, and that's part of the game right now, but I love the aggressive version. If you look right here, that pocket right there, as he gets in that pocket right there, he should look at the rim. He never looks at the rim. He goes straight to the pitch. As they go to the down, he should be getting in that gap right there, putting a 2-on-1 situation against that big. He can either get the lob, he can get to the rim, or he can get the spray to the corner. He settled, and that was easy for the defense. As you see here, Spider gets down that slot. He's in that corner, which is really a resting spot for him, but he relocates. He gets in Spider's vision right here. He takes a look at the basket, but he doesn't settle. He gets downhill with his left hand. He gets in the paint. He gets to the reverse right there. That's the version that I want to see, the version that uses that size and that skill set. But I have a little something here that we can walk through, and I'll show you better than I can tell you right now what we're looking at.
All right, got it. We have an addition with us, though, for this demo. The one and only Marshawn Lynch in the corner.
Hey, listen, we're going to make it easy for you, Beast Mode. You just stay right there in the corner.
Right there.
You just stay right there. That's your spot. You be Tomlin over there in the corner. I will be Allen because I'm used to setting screens and rolling and rebounding. Mm-hmm. You're used to shooting, being a star.
Yep.
Mobley. Okay.
Mobley, you be over there and you be Spider. You be Spider. So the way we're going to start this right now is they started here with a 77 version. So the 77, I'm the second screener. Dirk's the first screener. As I roll to the basket right here, you see Donovan Mitchell, first things first, get to the basket, create some confusion. As you see Mobley, he starts to relocate and gets in his vision. Now you see on the first one, he settled for that shot. Yep. No pressure on the defense. He took a look at it, but he didn't settle this time. So as Mobley gets in his paint right here, putting pressure on the rim, getting those guys in there. You can get to that corner if somebody helps, but nobody helps, and he uses his size, he uses his skill set. That's an easy bucket. I know his threes are up now. I know he's getting to the paint more, but I need him to continue to get to the paint. Your efficiency is down a little bit, but do not get discouraged. Continue to get to that paint, put pressure on that rim, and get to that free throw line.
But if he does get to the paint and the defense collapses, I find the corner shooter.
You got one over there?
You
got one over there?
Swin, as Marshawn attempts this shot, though, tell us what their identity should be in the half court.
Well, the reality is a couple years ago, I think for Coach Atkins when he came in, it was to engage the bigs. How do you get them more active? And so you have to put them in position to UD's point. We need to see Mobley more aggressive. They have to be able to execute in the half court. And right now, I don't see that level of execution that's going to get them to where they want to go this season.
All right, Marshawn's time to execute. Put one up. You got two tries.
And I got your rebound.
Come on.
Hey, let's go. Get hot.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
no,
in the back.
It's okay.
That one, that don't count.
You can tag in a teammate.
You wasn't loose. You wasn't loose.
2 for $1.
Hey.
Oh, good miss. Good miss.
Almost had some Skittles.
Mobley and the Cavs have the task of trying to slow down Pascal Siakam, the 10-year vet averaging almost 25 per game, a career high. Tip-off coming up from Cleveland. You like those moves?
Not bad.
Steve Nash got competition.
That's messy.
I didn't have any idea what to do next. Didn't want to do my media. Didn't want to, sit. I just kind of want to sit there and just really just sit and think, reflect on the series, the moment, the season. And I just didn't feel like it was over with. I just felt like, man, this can't be real. Everybody asks, how are you getting better? Whether it's pick and roll, shooting, finishing, defense, efficiency. But, people don't ever talk about I'm working to improve my mental. To me, grace was an excuse. That's how I used to look at it. And understanding that in order to move on and to elevate as a player, as a person, you have to give yourself grace. We did lose, and there is fire that's feeling, but also hey, this is something you have to sit through and really, really process. Obviously I haven't made it out the second round. That would be a goal, for sure. But I don't think I'm walking into this year and saying, hey, let's just make the conference finals and everything's all good. You know what I mean? Because at some point you'd have to be happy with losing. I go to sleep and wake up every day just trying to be a champion.
Wow, really introspective comments there from Donovan UD. Just that vulnerability after losing in such a big series.
Yeah, and I think that's what the people at home don't really understand. You have 21 seasons, 1 championship. You have 17, 3. You have 15, 3. You have 23. That means we lost a lot of times. There's a lot of sleepless nights that go through when you're an NBA player. And I think some of that pain is what drives you to be better the next season. Some of that pain is what drives you to make the sacrifices you need to make. Some of that pain is what drives you to be your best version, to put yourself in a position to be the champion that you want to be. So I'm happy he was very vulnerable because that's a side that the people at home don't get to see.
For sure. And to his point, it's all about how you bounce back.
Well, when Coach Atkinson came in last year and said that Donovan had to take a step back and unlock others for them to be better, this year he's taken a step forward in his usage. It's the highest he's been in a Cavs jersey. He's taking more shots. And I kind of equate that to a superpower / your kryptonite as a superstar. You have to figure out, yes, you can always go out and get yours. You can always go out and get your shots. But when is the time to kind of let your other guys eat? And in the regular season, you have to see who's going to get you there. Jason Tatum went through this similar journey. Everyone was questioning whether he had what it took to get the Celtics over the hump and win a championship. You look at his numbers. The year they lost, 30 points per game. The year that they won, 26 points per game. And so sometimes less is more, and it's finding that balance, and that's what's so difficult in winning.
I will say this. He had to carry some of the load a lot of these nights, and he actually carried them to some wins where actually those games they should have lost. So he's been credible early on here. I do think they miss Garland. They need his playmaking. He's one of the shiftiest guards coming off pick and rolls, getting in the lane, finding all the shooters that they have. So I do think because of Garland's been out, his usage has been super high, and you don't want it to be that high all season long.
As a star player, and you're in a groove, are you conscious that you're not getting your other guys involved? Are you conscious of that, or are you just in your groove? I ain't never had that. I ain't never had that groove.
I always shot the ball. I wasn't worried about anybody else.
And we're getting close to tip-off. It's time to check in with our friends in Cleveland, Michael Grady, Stan Van Gundy, and Cassidy Hubbard.
And we welcome you into the land. We are in Cleveland, Ohio, for cup play at a showdown between Two Central Division rivals. This fan would love to see Darius Garland in action tonight after a 5-game absence. And guess what? DG's in the building, ready to go. Such an important piece to the puzzle for this Cavaliers squad. Pascal Siakam, he's always game, always ready. The Pacers coming off of a win in their last outing Wednesday over Charlotte. Welcome to the Emirates NBA Cup with coverage on Prime. Week 3 of group play features the Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Indiana Pacers out of East Group A. And we welcome you inside Rocket Arena alongside the coach, Stan Van Gundy. I'm Michael Grady. Cassidy Hubbard joins us as well. You've seen the wine-colored court behind us. That means it's NBA Cup action, and the buzz continues for the tournament, coach.
It sure does. This is a huge game tonight. It might be tough for the Cavs to win the group because if Toronto wins tonight and Cleveland does, Toronto's in. And that's why Cleveland's got to win big tonight for that point differential and a chance at the wild card.
No doubt about it. Now, music royalty enshrined in the Hall of Fame just down the road. Well, the Cavaliers are rocking and rolling during the regular season last year. Started 15-0, 165 straight days of headlining in the East. They had a trio of all-stars, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. Speaking of Mobley, he won Defensive Player of the Year last season. Donovan Mitchell, first team All-NBA for the first time in his career. And Kenny Atkinson, the producer, winning Coach of the Year. It didn't end exactly the way they wanted due to injuries, but it was a spectacular regular season. A big piece of that puzzle. Donovan Mitchell standing by with our Cassidy Hubbard.
Don, with so many guys in and out of the lineup, you've had to carry a lot of the creation. How, if at all, has your approach shifted early on? And does it change tonight, getting Darius back?
Like I said, my job is to do whatever's necessary. It's obviously there's been inconsistency, but the one thing that always should remain consistent is our principles of what we do. And obviously, when you get DG back, it helps a lot. So, biggest thing out here is just continue to build upon what we've been working on and go out there and get a win.
Now, I know I don't have to remind you that Indy ended your season last spring. What from that series still fuels you heading into tonight?
Well, like I tell everybody, physically, I felt we did a good job last year. We have the talent. I think now it's just a mental push. Whether you're tired, mentally pushing through that, getting the extra old board, doing the little things. And this isn't last year, but at the same token, using that and going out there, letting it fuel you throughout the season and learn from it and get ready for the playoffs.
Thanks for taking the time, Don. Michael, back to you.
Thank you, Cass and Don. Well, Donovan Mitchell, a big piece of the puzzle again for the Cavaliers, but Darius Garland, a big engine for this team.
Absolutely, and they've got championship aspirations, and quite honestly, Michael, they can't get there without Darius Garland.
Yeah, they're happy to see him back. Now it's for the Indiana Pacers. Again, it's been a struggle for Indiana so far this season. Let's go back to where it all started. Pacer fans, you may want to avert your eyes just for a moment. Game 7, NBA Finals. What a year it was for Indiana, and they were getting off to a fine start in this ball game until this, Coach.
Yeah, they're Game 7 to win an NBA title, and this injury to Tyrese Haliburton changed everything. They ended up losing Game 7, and now that started the turnover in this roster, and it's been a struggle.
Yes, it has. Losing that Game 7. They lost Miles Turner to Milwaukee in the offseason, and since then it's been just a number of injuries for the squad. 99 different players have missed 99 man games lost this season for Indiana. They've used 20 different players. They'll have the 21st in this ball game.
Yeah, look, it's been very, very difficult for this Indiana team, but they're starting to get a little healthier. They're starting to get a few guys back, TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin. So they've got a chance to be more competitive. And, in the studio, Michael, we got 4 of the biggest winners in the history of this game. So I want to go to them. I'll direct it to you, Donis, but it can go to all of them. How hard is it when you've had this much success, like our 4 in the studio and like the Pacers had last year, to then be going through this kind of struggle? And what positives have they seen, our guys in the studio, seen from the Pacers in the last couple of games?
Well, it's extremely hard, Stan. I got to answer for that. I haven't had too many seasons like this, but it's extremely hard. But you got a lot of guys in that locker room with a lot of pride. You got Rick Carlisle, who's a hell of a coach, and you're getting healthy. Those guys have played fast. They led the league in passes last year. They're 4th in the league in passes this year, so they're still playing fast. They haven't changed that. But if you look at right here, that quick swing makes Miles Bridges the low guy. When Pascal Siakam comes up, Miles Bridges had to go over and be the low man. Now that creates a little bit of separation. Once Pascal gets in his pocket, this is his sweet spot. Kneppel has the help. Instead of settling for the three, Benedict cut to the basket right here and gets an easy layup. These three guys can get it going. Benedict is 25 and 8 rebounds since he's been back. Nembhard is 19.7 assists since he's been back. And reliable. Pascal Siakam, 25, 7, and 6. So the problem on defense, they can fix that with their disruption, but offensively, they have the pieces, and I know for sure Tricky Rick is going to put them in a position to be successful.
Yeah, and Candace, you feel like they're on that trajectory to fix some of those holes UD is talking about.
Yes, you can't change a mindset. They were in the finals last year, so they understand what it takes to get there, how hard it is, and that it is a grind and a process. We're in November. You don't throw out the baby with the bath water. You keep playing the way you played, and you insert guys no matter next man up mentality.
And Swin, when you look to the future, you also see opportunity for the Pacers.
Absolutely. And I think I'll put my front office hat on right now and say, if you're someone that's looking at this team, right now you're almost playing with house money. You have a great coach. You have Jenny Busick that's been leading their defense. You get opportunity to see other guys. And that's what you want to do when you have some of your stars that are out and not playing. And keep in mind, this is the same Pacer front office that went and made that trade in the offseason to get their first round pick back. This draft is going to be important. So even if they bottom out this year and really start evaluating guys, all of their core for the next couple of years is still in place. So to your point, Candace, their future is bright. This year, to Stan's point, you have to stay competitive. But listen, they have all options on the table.
Yeah. And Dirk, I know you like what you've seen from Pascal. He's going to have to show up big in this one.
Yeah, he's been a great playmaker. He's been their relied scorer all year. He's a great rebounder. He pushes the ball up. They put him in all sorts of situations. Yes. He's at the elbow. He's on the post. He runs pick and rolls. I mean, he is their one reliable all season, and he's been healthy. So he's having an incredible year, and he's been fun to watch.
I like this. Two teams experiencing two different kinds of pressure. It's going to be a good one. Thanks for watching NBA on Prime pregame presented by CarMax.